All right, it looks like we are ready to go today. Today we are going to talk a lot about our Masters of Science Nursing. We welcome you to NMC and we want to make sure that we get all the information that you need today. My name is Michelle Olson. I'm the Associate Director of the Enrollment Services here at the college. And I will be turning this over to our team today to get the information you are looking for today. We are recording this event today. We do post them on our page on the web. So that will come out about a week from today. Excuse me, if you need to come back and take a look at it. You are in listen mode only. We do ask for questions towards the end of this event. You will have time to submit the questions that we can answer for you today. All right, our panels today. Dr. Newell is here today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Marla Newell, and I have been the MSN program director for about 5 years, been teaching in the MSN program for 5 years before that. So I've been in education for over 20 years, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you when you come into the program.
Thank you. And some of you already know Jane. She is here with us today. She is our coordinator for this program. Jane, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jane Herman, and I have been here for about 4 years working. The entire time I've been here, I've been working with our graduate students, RN to BSN, RN to MSN, the MSN program, and then also DNP. So I can kind of answer questions that you have for any of those programs along the way. But today we're definitely going to concentrate on MSN, and we're excited to have you here.
Great, thank you.
So I'll just start off by giving you a little information about the college itself. We do have over 40 areas of study, so everything from certificate to doctoral degrees. So besides nursing, we also have things like rad tech, sonography, surge tech, all of those. We have nursing is our biggest program. We have the RN to BSN program and then of course the master's in DNP. So everything we do here is healthcare related. We've been here for 133 years, so we have a lot of practice. We currently have students represented from over 33 states across the country, so we do definitely reach other areas of the country, not just, a lot of times people think it might just be Omaha, but it's not. We have students from all over. That is the benefit of the online program format, is that we can kind of learn and grow from people all over. We really like to share our upfront pricing with you, so there's no surprises along the way. We will kind of touch on that later in the presentation, so you'll have all your answers to all your questions about financial aid and pricing. 75 and growing community partners. Actually, I think we just got an email today that had over 100 listed. So the thing that's nice about that is that we have a lot of connections in the community when it comes time for our students to find jobs or clinical experiences or shadowing experiences, whatever it may be. We have really great community partners and connections for you all. The other thing we're very proud about here is that our faculty, they're all leaders in their programs. So many of them are still working nurses, spending time on floors and in clinics, as well as in the classroom. So we think that gives you a really rich experience here with the faculty that you'll be involved with. You can go on to the next slide, Michelle. There we go. Okay, Dr. Newell is going to take over and talk a little bit about the program.
So the MSN program, all of the courses are 100% online. And so all the learning occurs in a learning management system. There are some clinical components associated with the program, but they're more preceptor based. And so they're done at your own time and in your own areas that you want to learn. Students can attend full-time or part-time. With our new curriculum, we've made the full-time a little bit easier for working nurses to complete, where we don't have courses doubling up as much as what we used to. So you're just taking one course at a time and giving you an opportunity to be able to complete your program. We have 2 starts, one in January and one in August. And so we have a variety of cohorts that are going through the program. The program is about 2 years. The virtual orientation is offered a week before classes begin. And so actually there's an online orientation course that you will take, and the virtual orientation will get you started before that. And I think it's a great opportunity for you to see what kind of resources you have available. Just because you're online does not mean that we don't know you're here. And so we want to make sure that we're making it the best experience for you. Like I said, it can be completed in 2 years full time. And we really looked at the working professional. Myself and all of my coordinators that teach in the program, we've all been working professionals going back to school. So we understand what you need to be able to do everything that you need to do with your job, your family, and getting a graduate degree. We have 4 tracks. The nurse educator was our first track. It's actually was started way back in 2000. So it's been around for a long time, and it's a great program. This program is for if you want to be a nurse educator in academia, or like a staff development nurse in acute care or wherever you could go to be more of an educator kind of role. The nurse executive gets you prepared to be a manager at any level. I know within our Methodist health system, we have like service leaders, we have charge nurses, we have service executives. And so it really prepares you for all of those roles. And it doesn't necessarily have to be acute care. It could be any level of care. The care coordinator track is our newest track. It's been running probably about 4 years. And this is looking at care coordination beyond just one institution. And so it really prepares you to think about population health and where our healthcare is going, and trying to help people just manage all the different levels of care that they may need. And nursing informatics is our last track. And nursing informatics focuses on all the behind the scenes that has to do with the electronic health record, anything related to healthcare technology, healthcare education. So it's a great program to think about. All of our courses are either 5 weeks or 10 weeks. And so the majority of them are 5 weeks. Usually the ones with 10 weeks have a little bit more of a clinical component to it. And so what you do is you take a course for 5 weeks, you're off of a week, then you take another course, or continue the course for 5 weeks, off a week, and then another 5 weeks when you're in a course. And so those breaks every 5 weeks really helps the survival of being in a graduate program. So you can take a breather, get things done that you need to do. We have BSN to MSN plans of study plus RN. So if you have your associate's or diploma and you want to get your MSN, we have a plan of study for that. During the program, all students will complete a professional e-portfolio. So it really can make it to where you can present to future employers just what all you learned in the program to make you a great fit for advancing your career. So for those that are RN to MSN, so you have an associate diploma, We have what we call the bridge curriculum to kind of get where you take courses to kind of get you up at that BSN level, ready to take the MSN courses. You will not get a BSN along the way, but this will get you prepared to be able to take the graduate courses. So you take statistics and research, which is very important to kind of build a base where you can start working on evidence-based practice. Health assessment for RNs takes a little bit deeper dive into health assessment. Collaborative leadership and management really looks deeply at those leadership type roles, and then population-centered care in the community is a clinical where you work in the look in the community, find a community site where you can complete a project. So that is also done on your own time. And then once you're ready for the MSN, or if you're going to start in the MSN program, we have 9 core courses, and then whatever track you're in, you'll have 4 courses that are track specific. So the 9 core courses, we've really built it so that it really prepares you for that higher level of learning and nursing practice. So all students take the core courses. So there'll be a course about leadership in your advanced specialty role, whether you're an executive educator, coordinator, or informaticist. And so that kind of leads into the population health. So give you a little more experience working with population health. There's an advanced assessment patho and farm course that takes you even beyond what your basic health assessment course is. There's a health policy and systems-based practice course. So looking outside of the one institution where you're at and kind of looking at what are the things that are affecting the institution, what is affecting healthcare, including policies. There's an informatics course for everybody because everybody needs informatics in today's society, and kind of understanding the basics behind that. And of course, there's an advanced statistics where you're learning more to interpret the statistics, not learning how to do the statistics. And then the research course is evaluating research, not doing the research. And then all students do a capstone course. It's broke up in 2 courses to where over that period of time in those 2 semesters where you complete an evidence-based project. For those track courses, there's very specific content to that specialty role, no matter what role you want to be in. And so all of the coordinators are experts in those areas. For example, our informatics coordinator, she's got a doctor of nursing practice in informatics, and so that's her world, and she works in that world. Our nurse executive has been an executive for many years. Care coordinator is the same, and our educator coordinator is the same. And each one of those tracks, you will have a practicum. Well, you will precept with somebody that's already in that role so that you'll become more familiar with what that role entails.
All right, we'll go into a little bit about the admissions criteria now. So in order to be eligible to apply for the program, we are looking for you to have a GPA of 3.0. Anything below that will be considered on an individual basis. So don't let that discourage you from applying if you don't have a 3.0. We do need you to have your current unencumbered nursing license. And then if you are from another state, there are state authorization guidelines that we have to abide by. So we just would want to double check to make sure that your state is okay. So if you're coming to us from somewhere else, just make sure that you have that conversation with me and I can find out for you that we're okay where you live. So what we're going to look at for your, if you're applying to the RN to MSN, is that you have a 3.0 or higher in your associate's degree program. And then the same thing, you need to have your license and also meet state authorization guidelines. If you happen to be like a May graduate and you don't have an RN license yet, that's perfectly okay. We just have to have it in place before you start the program. So I have had students come straight from their associate's degree program and want to apply for like the following August, and that completely works. So we just need to communicate well together, get final transcripts, get that nursing license and everything on file before you start the program in August or January, whichever that works for you. And then really it's a simple application process. So we have a free online application. When you go to our website, there's a apply now button. Just click that to get started. It's pretty fast. Honestly, you can do the application in probably 10 minutes. And then we usually just go ahead and find your license for you. So I don't even really ask you to send that anymore. Some people upload it with their application and that's great, but I'm happy to find it on the website and pull that for you. And then we do like to have a copy of your current resume. That's just an informational piece for us. It just helps us to learn kind of where our students are coming from, where you might work, just kind of what experiences you have. So we're just really kind of using that as an informational piece. And then we need your official transcripts from wherever you graduated. So we do need them to be official, meaning that they do have to come directly from the school. So you would get a hold of your college and request those transcripts to be sent directly to Nebraska Methodist College, and then we will review them from there. If you are a bachelor's prepared nurse and you maybe took classes at 3 or 4 schools, I really only have to get the bachelor's degree transcripts. So you don't have to worry about sending any with transfer credit from smaller schools or maybe where you took a couple classes. If you maybe have had any graduate level coursework, however, you would want to send those as well, just in case there's something that we could give you credit, transfer credit for. And then we do what's called a professional consultation. That's really just a phone call with me so that we have a chance to connect at some point through the process. We'll chat about the program, kind of what the course makeup looks like, just answer any questions that you have before we move forward. Just gives us an opportunity to connect with each student. So that's why we kind of like to have that piece in place. And then here's just a little shot of what the application timeline looks like for you. If you're interested in getting started this spring, classes do start January 13th. And so I would highly recommend having everything to me by early November. We do accept on a rolling basis. So the faster you get your application submitted, the faster you know if you've been accepted or not. We usually have, honestly, less than a week turnaround sometimes. So it's a pretty quick process. I don't like to have people apply too late into November. It just gets a little sticky with Thanksgiving and then the holidays coming to get transcripts requested and all of those things. So early November should definitely be your goal. And then if you're looking at a fall start, classes will start August 18th in 2025. And I would prefer everything be to me by early May. Same thing. I just don't want you to feel too rushed through the process. We want to make sure you have time to get registered and get books and have the date saved for your orientation and all of those things. So November or May is when you should really shoot to get me your application materials. And then this is just a little breakdown of what cost looks like. So for 2024-2025 school year, the cost is $588 per credit hour. For if you are doing an RN to MSN program, the bridge courses would be $320 a credit hour. And then when you get to the master's level, they switch to $588. And then you'll see how the fees break out here too as well. We do charge fees per semester, or as you'll see, a lot of them are just one-time fees. So the main fee is the technology fee. You do pay that fall, spring, and summer, and it's $500 for fall and spring, and then $250 in the summer. The rest of those fees are minimal and just a one-time fee. If you are interested in financial aid, you will have a dedicated financial aid counselor, Bailey Jorgensen. She works with all of our graduate level students, so she's a really great resource for you. The school code for the FAFSA is on this slide as well, you'll see. The FAFSA was said to be opening in early October for the fall. FAFSA went through some changes this last year, and it was honestly a little bit of a mess. So we're hoping they've kind of ironed out some of their new details, but just kind of keep an eye on when you can apply for that FAFSA for next fall. If you're coming to us in January, that one's already open because it would be for this school year. So that's the difference. And then just make sure you're kind of seeking out any financial opportunities that might be out there. We do sponsor the faculty loan program, which is called the NFLP. And what that is, it's a federal grant program that can forgive up to 85% of your loans for working as a nurse educator. So that's a really great opportunity. And I really try, as soon as I know you're interested in nurse educator, I really try to get that information out to you right away so you have a chance to look things over. So if you have questions on that, we're happy to go into more detail. If you happen to work for the health system, there's some really great benefits available right now. We just recently started offering a 20% discount to health system employees who are eligible working full-time for the MSN program. So that's really great. And then there's also a few other benefits for the health system as far as like a tuition reimbursement and a few other things. But I always like to point out too, no matter where you work, make sure you're doing your homework and seeing what's available, because really almost every employer is offering some sort of tuition assistance of some kind. So really make sure that you advocate for that and see if there's some money you can get somewhere. We do have what's called the Diverse Nurse and Men in Nursing Education Faculty Scholars Program. That's a mouthful. What that is we are giving an applicant tuition in return for working for us as a nurse educator upon graduation. We are trying to diversify the types of faculty members that we have. So underrepresented groups and men obviously are not as prominent in nursing. And so we would really like to add those people to our faculty list. And so we are offering that benefit as well. So if you're interested, that application is available on the website on the scholarship tab. Also, just make sure, like I said, advocate, look around. I've heard from other applicants in the past that you can go to like the Nebraska Nurse Association or any national nurse associations or groups that you might belong to. Definitely look places like that for scholarship opportunities, because there are some out there.
Okay, there's a lot of services available, even though you're in an online program. There is some with academic advising. You have your own dedicated academic advisor, Katie Mintz, and she's awesome. She works with all of the graduate nursing students, and so she's very supportive and a great person to work with. There's a lot of different academic support services if you should need them. So we usually talk about each of those individually at our virtual orientation. We do have counseling services available for all students, and if you're in the Omaha area, you can come into the college, and we have counselors here if you want to see in person. Or we do have what we call YouWill, is an online site where you can get counseling services. The John Moritz Library is a great resource for you. And I can tell you, in the MSN program, you'll be visiting it a lot online. But the librarians are awesome if you're having problems with any type of search. There's an online bookstore where you can get all your books. And we really look at our books closely, trying to limit our books and making sure that you're using a book in multiple courses. So we like to keep those book costs down for you as much as possible. We do have the graduate writing coach available. They can help you with APA. They can help you with your writing. As a graduate program student, you will be doing a lot of writing. And so we try to work with you and help you through this service to get your writing improved if you need that help. We also have the NMC EdTech Help Desk that can help with anything that you're having problems with the learning management system and things like that. If you're having other problems accessing things, then the IT help desk can be very helpful. In fact, they're available 24/7, where the EdTech is more of a Monday through Friday type of thing.
We have compiled kind of a list of just commonly asked questions. If you all are thinking of questions that you would like answered, please feel free to type those into the chat box and then we can answer them. But we'll kind of go through just some questions that we get kind of on a regular basis and touch on those first. So how much time will I need to commit each week to the program?
So when you think about a 5-week course, that's putting 15 weeks into 5 weeks. And so they go fast and furious, but like a lot of students say, I can do anything for 5 weeks. Most of the time you will probably be committing anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week in completing your assignments. In that, I'm always include time allowed for thinking. And, you'll do your reading, you got to think about what you read. And so you can do thinking any place, doing laundry, washing dishes, driving in the car to and from work. And so that's kind of added into that.
What if I need to take time off during the program?
So what you would just need to do is get a hold of your academic advisor, Katie Mines, and you can take a leave of absence. You can take a leave of absence up to 1 year to remain in the program. I've had students that have had to take just a semester off or just a class time off, or even close to up to the year, depending on what's going on in your life. So that can be possible.
How many classes will I take at one time? I think you kind of talked about this, but
I did. And so over the 2-year program, all but the last 2 semesters, you're only taking 1 course at a time. And so they might be a 5-week course combined with a 10-week course. It might be 3 5-week courses. During the last 2 semesters, you'll be taking courses to where you're preparing you for your practicum. The practicum is in one of them. And for the middle 5 weeks, it kind of overlaps with your capstone. We do look at the courses and what assignments are due. And so when they're overlapped, we try to reduce the amount of assignments. So your first course that you're taking would be front loaded. The last 10-week course would be back loaded. So you're not having as much as double duty during that time it overlaps.
how accessible are faculty members?
They are very accessible. All of them usually provide their cell phones to students so that they can call them, within reason. We're not available 24/7, but we are available for students. And it's better that you get a hold of your faculty if you have a question than waiting and not understanding a part of that. So.
Okay. Do I ever need to come to campus?
You do not need to come to campus, but if you do come to campus, we would love to see you. A lot of times with an online program, we don't get to see you until graduation. And so that provides an opportunity to really put a face with a name.
And I like to always point out here too that campus is beautiful if you've never been here, and we have a place for you to get coffee and grab lunch and several places where you can hide out and study. So if you have a busy family life and need to hide away, you are definitely welcome to be on campus and find a place to study or hang out. And we also have a very nice gym, so you have access to that as well. As a student, you'll have a badge, so you would have badge access and be able to utilize campus. So we definitely encourage that if you are in the area. Okay, what does the practicum or clinical consist of?
So typically you would find a preceptor that works in the area of whatever track that you're in. So if you're a nurse educator, you would find a faculty member. If you have a hard time or don't know where to go, the coordinators can help you do that. And what you do is you complete a total of 126 hours with your preceptor doing things that's related to whatever job you're looking forward to. So with the nurse manager, you'd be doing a lot of things that the nurse manager does. Some of the practicums, you complete a QI project. In the educator one, you teach a class. go to clinical with students, teach them in clinical areas. So over the 10 weeks, you would complete those 126 hours.
Can I get any transfer credit for previously earned graduate classes?
We evaluate each course if you want to see if it would qualify. We have a place where you can just submit it, and we would look at the syllabus from that graduate course. We would have to make sure that the outcomes of that course are very similar to an outcomes of whatever course that we have. So there are some courses that are easily transferred, like stats and research can be.
Are there any health requirements for this online program?
There are. Just because it's online doesn't mean that you're not going to be interacting in institutions that do require health requirements. And since you're representing Methodist College as a student, you need to have those health requirements kept updated. And so when you start the program, you have to upload everything into our system, Complio, and then you have to keep it updated. And so our campus health nurses are really good about reminding you when you need to have your health requirements updated. Like, for example, a lot of our students right now are getting notices that they need to re-upload their RN license because we all have them due, and they have to be renewed. And so that's required for all of the students.
Great. So those are kind of the main questions that we get asked a lot. Haven't seen any questions pop up in the chat, but if you have any, we'll wait a few minutes to see if there's anything else we can answer for you. And also after today, I'll be the person that you work with through the whole admissions process. So you are welcome to reach out to me anytime. If you think of something an hour later, give me a call or email me, and I will just kind of stay in touch with you through the whole application process. I really stay connected to students all the way until the first day of class, so that you always know you have somebody to go to as you're kind of getting ready for classes to start. If there's things you're not sure about or who to ask, then I'm always going to be here to do that for you. Let's see, I have a question in the chat that says, when will advisors reach out to us? So if a student has already been accepted and submitted a deposit, that is the next step, is a meeting with an advisor. I believe that Katie will start working with new students in about early November. She will be starting right now to register current students, and then as soon as she wraps that up, she starts reaching out to new students. So I would expect to hear from her in early November. I do plan to check on her timeline, and I will be sending out kind of just an email to kind of let people know when to kind of expect that conversation to come from her. Once a student meets with the advisor, she has some onboarding tasks for you, walks you through the registration process, has you get registered for classes. It's a very simple process as far as what you're registering for, and then what books will be needed. You'll find that nice list right on the website when you register. So it's a pretty clean process. And Katie's great. She will take very good care of you. So, but I would expect early November is when she'll start working with students for the January start. Great question. Okay, I don't see any other questions coming up. So like I said, feel free to reach out anytime if we didn't get everything answered today. And we thank you for joining us, and look forward to having you as future students. Thank you.
Thank you.